What's good YouTube? It's Jay here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video from my normal Empire War gameplay related stuff. Today we're going to be interviewing the one, the only, the legendary BurntStrobe. So, Strobe, you want to introduce yourself so people know that I'm not lying?
Hello, everybody. I am Strobe, leader of the Use It Vong at Warmod, and I'm happy to be here and interviewed by Jay tonight.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate the flattery. Uh, so, first off, it's just going to be some basic questions. Like, for example, first question is going to be what kind of got you into modding? Like, where did you start at? Like, when did you really get involved with it? What was your first project? Like, what kind of really just like drew you in?
Uh, God, it was back in 2005. I was a design student, and I was looking to I had a fascination with space. I had just recently, had the games when since it came out in 2000, the early 2005, and the very first thing I saw that drew me into modding was the picture of the day contest on FileFront way back in the day. I used to love seeing all the different photos that people were posting, and then seeing how people were starting to change textures on ships. And Farseer, good friend of ours, good buddy, he was actually my inspiration because he was the first person I saw who was changing planet textures. And that motivated me to try some ideas of my own and kind of just took off from there.
So, are we talking like just to kind of give an idea of how long you've been in this? Are we talking about like early like 2000s, like when the game first came out, 2005, 2006, kind of, or a little later?
Probably I joined the community in FileFront probably right when it started. I had different names back then. I probably went through two or three aliases until I settled with Strobe. But I think I didn't start modding until the maybe like the 2006 somewhere.
So, as far as those aliases go, do you remember any of them by chance?
No, not really. I've been Strobe for a good while, and it's become me.
The old history forgotten. Uh, so as far as so what was your like first actual like project? What was your first mod that you really kind of started with, or did you just kind of jump right into use on Longer War?
Had worked with a couple mods, being mostly like a young fanboy, I guess, following some other people, and there was probably like two or three mods I was a part of where I wasn't active. I was just there in their forums and congratulating the modders on their work, being in awe of what they can do with the game, and giving advice. Giving more like annoying suggestions, like, "Hey, it'd be cool if you guys could do this." So I have a soft spot for fans nowadays who always are asking those kinds of questions because I was there too at one point.
Right.
But yeah, that's I think that's how most people get started into modding. They fan someone else's work, want to give ideas, and then when they see that no one is making their ideas, they
They
get
just kind of
motivated
like
to go do it themselves.
right. They just kind of go at it themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of I know how you feel. That's kind of how I started with my first days of XML coding back in freshman year of high school in 2010. Had a really garbage Toshiba laptop with 3 gigs of RAM that could barely run Empire War, let alone any mods. And I saw Absolute Corruption mod, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is insane. There's so much you can kind of throw in here, but it's like missing something. Um, but yeah, I totally understand how you feel. As far as the fan bit goes, it's kind of nice to know that you're really understanding, with the fact that it's okay to fanboy. There are a lot of people who be like, calm down and you know,
Yeah, I mean, everyone starts somewhere, and like, some people have no idea that this kind of stuff can even be done to games. And it all starts somewhere with, like, seeing someone else doing something and getting inspired.
right.
And, it's to grow a community, it's better to understand these kinds of people and not just yell at them and say go away. But I mean, you get bombarded with them, so I understand how some people can get frustrated.
Hmm.
But if you talk to people, start giving them some motivation, and start saying, "Hey, you could do this too if you just give it a shot and try." Case in point, I didn't know how to do. All I knew was Photoshop,
Hmm.
and now I know a whole hell of a lot more after like 10 years of doing this.
So as far as with all of your infinite knowledge, because we know you basically have like a Jedi Temple's library worth of information in your head at this point. Uh, what was probably like the biggest like thing like so aside from projects like let's say of all the models of all the textures, what has been the most difficult one to ever work on? Like, what was your like most challenging model or maybe your most challenging texture kind of put together?
Oh, good God! Everyone I work on is the most challenging. Uh, I think. I mean, I think that really is the way. I mean, we've had some models that have been incredibly frustrating. Um, the beginning of our mod, we were basically taking anything we could get. We didn't. We had a crew of misfits, I guess, who were outcasted from the other more bigger established mods. And that was basically the origin of the Vong mod. It was like, hey, I have an idea. Let's get together the guys that no one else is wanting to really work with, and let's start doing something ourselves.
Right.
And we took you know donations from anybody, and some were good, some were bad. They were everyone had their own unique styles. We were
Hmm.
trying to grab ships from other games to look at them and dissect them, and it was that was how we learned. It was like the school of hard knocks. None of us knew what we were doing, and we learned ship by ship basically.
So it's better.
And
It's kind of better than like having to reinvent the wheel. You might as well just take what material you kind of have at your disposal and just try to make it better. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we had some people who were trying. There were some people who were trying to learn dedicated 3D modeling, and it was great. And we had others who were just trying to do kit bashing in the early days. I was notorious for kit bashing anything, and something may look good, but it may be completely sloppy on the inside.
Hmm.
Which but these are it was a good learning curve because you learned a lot. um you know Working our way up through several models, I could say working on, oh, I don't even know. um we got a lot of models from a lot of people, a lot of great donations, generous offerings,
Hmm.
and some of them, you know without knowing what we were doing. Some were corrupt, some were just made strangely. I don't want to name names because we're thankful for all the donations that we've ever received.
Right.
But we learn with every single thing we work on, and every time we work on a new model, we push the envelope further and try to make something bigger and better and more surprising. So the hardest model is the one I was working on today, basically. You know, because we got something really special that we've been working on all weekend,
Hmm.
and hoping to unveil it next weekend, actually.
Okay. Well, we look
Uh,
forward to that, especially like if you guys haven't checked it out already, be sure to check out the screens and video or screenshots and video section of these on Volunteer War Discord, so you can see all the updated images and links to the ModDB page and see some of the new ship designs that are up there because they're really fucking fantastic, and you should go do that. Like the moment I say this in the video, go do that.
Appreciate all the fans we can get.
Without a doubt. And there's been a lot of traction with the mod over the last I want to say year and a half. A lot of people have been really in the Discord chatting it up. Big shout out to somebody maybe let's say like Tie Fighter. What was this? I think his name was Ty Ellen. Guy's been super active in the chat, and it's always really nice to see people like that drawing up conversations and kind of conversing with the fans or with each other.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we love the community feedback. We wish we had more time to talk and interact with people, but it'd be amazing to spend like a whole day just talking to people. But the way our team works is we have at any given time there's probably at least six people always working on something, you
Hmm.
know, and we set up like assembly lines of production where as soon as one person is done like one part, that's shifted off to someone else and they continue. So we might have someone who's only doing like model creation, and and then all the models that get created to a certain point are they given to someone else, and that person is doing all the UV work, and then that is given over to someone who is doing texturing. I should be naming names here. Revan, great member of our team, been with me for a long time. Pretty much is like my right hand for artwork and everything. He has become phenomenal at inventing new techniques and ways for fixing my messes. Yeah, he's the mod would half of our shit would not have made it if it wasn't for him.
Right, right.
I owe him so much gratitude and thanks because of all the work he does. But we he hands off things to our good buddy Azat. Azat works on getting blast marks ready. He works on getting UVs ready.
Hmm.
And while I might be working on making an actual model, I could get it to a certain point and hand it off, and then go work with CAD or Wars Cool, our coders, to troubleshoot something.
Hmm.
And those guys can keep working on a model where I'm over here doing something else. You know, Doki, our newest member, an outstanding design. He's a student. He's an outstanding game designer.
Hmm.
We are very blessed to have him on the team. Just a tremendous talent. Working with him, he's helping us introduce new streamlined methods for working on production and fixing things. So we have this great assembly line where we're all moving, and we're kind of we become quiet on our Discord because we're constantly in group chats with each other, coordinating and working and saying, all right, need you to do this, and someone's giving me
Right,
something, I'm
right.
giving something over there.
Right, and that
It's
kind
gonna
of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be an amazing experience when we finally can get our first release out, then sit back, take a deep breath, and play and chat with all our fans. And that's what we're all something we're all looking forward to as like our big reward for all this work we've done. We want to have fun with everyone who supported us. So it's nice to it will be nice to get to know people finally.
Finally get out of the basement. Finally come into the sunlight and say, "Man, the world has really changed around me over the last what 5, 6 years you've been working on." Well, it's been longer than that. It's been over what almost.
We have fit. I started the plans for the mod probably back in 2010 and 11, and I think we officially launched the modding team in 2012.
Okay, I
So
remember when that happened too.
yeah, and it's been a long road. We've worked with a lot of people. At one time our team had 37 members. No, sorry, had I think I had like 52 at one point.
How did you manage all of
A lot of Red Bull.
that?
Yeah, it was great. Before Discord took off, we
Hmm.
FileFront died, and we tried to salvage a good number of people and form a little community on Skype,
Yeah.
and it was good. It was good to get modders connected to one another and started just trying to form like more relations and get more of like a community sense of people helping one another.
Right. Because especially with Empire War, the modding community, I wouldn't say it has been. I wouldn't call it like elitist or anything, but it definitely has been competitive over the course of its history. Not in the sense that one mod is better than the other, but like it's a race. Sometimes people are trying to push their projects out. You got things like Thrawn's Revenge. You got uh, the uh, the Mandalorian Mandalorian War mod that
Mandalorian Wars.
yeah
Yeah.
that Far Series making. You got like an Empire War Re. You got we're not going to mention a certain Spanish man's particular mod, but you get the point. You know, it's all been a competition to some kind of degree, so it's kind of nice, like, you know, that you were able to build like a team out of people that are all equally, you know, interested in the same like common goal. You know,
Yeah,
um,
I mean, I'm still amazed that I was able to find this many people who knew what the Vong were. I mean, they were pretty much shunned from public view for like years and years, and it's a shame. It's a great story. It's a great
oh
set of
yeah,
it's a
oh
great
yeah,
set of novels, and that was like, the whole basis of us originally wanting to make the mod. It was, we're doing this to, let people know, hey, this is a great story that, people just kind of, gave bad word of mouth to because they killed Chewbacca. Big
you
spoiler alert.
you can't have change of the story, man. If all the heroes don't live and have a happy ending, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Come on, you know that.
If it goes on and on forever with nothing changing, it gets so boring.
I mean, just look at the new movies. 35 years later, we're still talking about Leia. We're still calling Leia in her 70, well, however old she was in The Force Awakens, 70, 80 years of age. We're still calling her princess. Like, come on, man. Things don't change. You know, this stuff never changes. So, I mean, I don't know. I personally always thought it was a good selling point. It's like, this is the real deal. This war is, you know, is the real deal. You know, if it can kill off plot armor characters, it's the real deal. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people just are unaware of like the scope and scale that took place in this novel series.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just, this the Civil War area is nice. It was, the rebels and the Empire, these little small, skirmishes and fights here and there, all around the galaxy, talking about places and whatnot.
Yep.
But when I read the new Jedi Order series, I was amazed. The entire galaxy was pretty much destroyed.
Yeah.
And they painted the events very well and in depth. With like
Yeah.
political intrigue and like you know dark drama, like Han becoming a recluse
Depressed.
alcoholic. Yeah, a depressed alcoholic. It was good. It was like, wow, this isn't just happy Ewoks and cantina music playing. This is something different.
Yeah, I mean, the writers stepped Star Wars out of its comfort zone, which was always, you know, Rebels versus Empire. I mean, hell, they brought in extra galactic invaders. To me, it's like, how can you say that's boring or uninteresting? It's like, nobody wants to hear the same tale of Rebels versus a superior empire that, you know, controls the galaxy. I mean, like, after a while, that story kind of gets old. You know, the heroes got to lose sometimes. Sometimes the bad guys have to be the most unexpected thing, you know? And I mean, you know, I feel like other legend. I'm not going to refer to it as that. Other expanding universe content, because for the love of Christ, I hate the word legends. Um, Other expanding universe, you know, lore has done a good job, in my opinion, of kind of like incorporating that. I mean, you look at like Knights of the Republic. Fucking, there's a reference to a Vong scout ship, and that's what 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, almost. You know,
Yeah,
and then you got like the legacy comments 135 years after Endor. The Vong still kind of like everybody still has a bad taste in the mouth about it. So it's like, you know, like it's a change and it's something that was healthy.
yeah.
Um,
It's a great storyline, and we on the team, fans of the books who've read them all in depth. We have great discussions and debates over it. It puts Palpatine into a whole new light. He was trying because he knew that he knew that the Vong were coming. So therefore, he was doing things that people could perceive as being corrupt and evil, but it was for the greater good of trying to save the galaxy. But then it pulls into that absolute power corrupts kind of
yeah,
that saying.
yeah, because I mean, and we're gonna try to get back on topic in a minute about the mod discussions because I know we both have our love for the expanding universe. We
Oh,
could
we'll
go on
talk
for
about it
hours.
all night.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, when you've got situations like that, you know, Palpatine can theoretically be perceived as a good guy, but like you say, you know, the power corrupts kind of came to play. You know, he kind of let it get to his head. He blew up a planet, for fuck's sake. He blew up a planet, you know.
And laughed while doing it.
And laugh while doing it. So it's like, you know, if he had just toned it down just a tad bit, you know, went with the you know, he could have killed the Jedi Order. That was fine. That Jedi Order was bad. You know, that was fine. But kind of went a little too far with the power hungriness, because nobody would have really ever accepted the, oh, he tried to do a good thing. Yeah, well, you know, tell it to the planet of dead billions. You know, so. But to just to drift back a little bit, maybe we'll do another video where we just talk about Legends, or Jesus Christ, we'll talk about Expanded Universe for like an hour. But back on the subject of the mod at hand, so is there anything in particular that you would like to mention, maybe that's upcoming for fans? Like I said, we're not going to ask like release dates or anything, obviously, but is there anything in particular like unique that you would like to say, maybe towards the fan base or something like that, you know, they could kind of look forward to, maybe, you know?
Yeah, it's coming damn soon. You know, I mean, you know, it sucks. We try not to tease our fans. I
Yeah.
mean, we 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 do take sick pleasure in it though, but you know, it's the fun. It's the creation of hype. But you know, we are, you know. You know, it has led to some debates of people saying, you know, our project isn't real, and that we're just teasing the community forever.
Who would have
Um,
thought, when you've got a crew of, how many people are on the team now, you want to say? Maybe in the like 20, 30-ish area?
Now I say there's about maybe I want to say we have about like 20 people affiliated with us. You know, our core team is about a solid six or seven.
Yeah.
But you know, we have you know, about a network, I'd say, of about 20, 25. You know,
Mm-hmm.
dedicated supporters who you know, come in, you know, who touch base with us, you know, at least once a week, and are always there to help out if we need something or ask something.
Mm-hmm. And you know,
You know,
who would have thought? You know, people like all of us, you know, who have actual lives and you know, things to do. Who'd have thought? You know, trying to rush what could be considered like a hobby project out, you know, not fast enough would disappoint people. It's kind of absurd sometimes. You know, and like you guys at the end of the day, you're married. If I recall, you're married. You know,
I am married. Yep.
I'm pretty certain Cad's probably married. I don't
No,
know.
no, they're still a little younger. You know,
Okay.
I'm getting up there in age. I'm 30. I'm gonna be 39 in about a month.
Friendly
So
reminder, guys. This man is 39. Don't rush him, okay? Let him breathe. He has a lot to do at 39 years old, okay?
got a lot of shit going on in life.
But
But
you know, people have to just be patient. Like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you know, I know
I
it's been a
can't
while, but
I can say that we are very close. You know, we're constantly keeping track of our work, and you know, pretty much all the code that we need is finished and in the game and all set up, thanks to all the efforts of you know, Cad Venku and War is Cool. You know, those guys are working every single day on stuff. You know, they're just phenomenally amazing. You know,
mm-hmm,
we have you know, CAD went above and beyond to learn basically to learn uh, particle design, to you know, to fix and improve and even invent new particles for weapon types. We have a, you know, we have a great supply donated to us from Mega Balta,
mm-hmm.
who is a very talented and very exceptional particle wizard, I think I used to call him. But you know, we need, but you know, he's pulled left and right in the community to make things for everybody, because he makes stunning artwork.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we needed more than could be provided, so you know, CAD is took up the challenge and learned how to do it in about a month's time, and you know, he's making some incredible particles. You know, for us and everything. So we have, if you want to know like a tally list of what we have left, we are there's 4 Vong ships left. There is the Midroik. which is the famous Vong battleship. It's the size of a star destroyer.
I'll post a picture of that in the video.
Okay,
A
yeah.
reference.
Um, that texture we are hoping to have finalized and finished sometime this week, so that'll be on mod database.
Okay.
Um, we actually have we have three variations of the midroik, for slight alterations of the ship designs, so it can work for different roles.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all in like the last stages of being finished, just trying to fix a couple little imperfections with the texture.
Yeah.
We have a ship called the Umufal, which is a heavy frigate slash cruiser type role ship. That was the last render we posted on mod database.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the spear ship.
Yep. Yep.
That Revan is working on that UV currently. Um, we have the Avec Lililu, which is the Vong carrier. We teased that probably like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Doki has been doing some amazing texture work on it. He keeps we have to tell him to calm down once in a while, because he keeps coming up with more and more better ideas, and like the guy's amazing. I love watching him work. But that's coming up soon, and we have a little Vong space station, if you will, like a defense station that
Mm-hmm.
we will be posting online either tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow night.
Yep.
And then the big surprise that we are working on, that I'm actually doing now while I'm talking to you, is we spent the whole weekend making the Core Chalk Grand Cruiser.
Oh God, is that the like Citadel looking type station? Like it looks like
Yeah, it looks
yeah.
like a bunch of moons all smashed together.
Yep. Oh
Um,
God.
it's the Vong equivalent of a superstar destroyer, and we're taking some artistic liberties with it,
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to make it look a little more menacing, a little more in line with our style of what the Vong are looking like.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, it's looking pretty good. And we're hoping to show the model off this week, and we have some very interesting texture ideas that we're working on for it to make something very nice and special for this. But that is, we're trying to get that done. We're trying to get that done as well. So we're very
Okay.
excited working on that model. But that's it for that's all. That's all that we're really waiting for. The other three, we're launching it's our first release. We've worked in complete secrecy almost,
Mm-hmm.
for years about what we were making, what we were doing, and only telling the public, small teasers.
Right.
We,
Right.
we wanted to keep it a big surprise, basically. Um, but we're launching our first release. We have stable multiplayer. No, minimal, no lag. Um, Very good frame rate. By good frame rate, I mean I I set like a standard. I said, we can't have, if we're having a one versus one multiplayer game,
Yep.
the FPS cannot go below 30. And we definitely have far exceeded that. And we've been testing 3 versus 3 multiplayer. No lag. The game runs smooth.
Mm-hmm.
No desyncs, no crashes. Our testers are playing. You've tested it,
Yep, yep, and I've seen it a lot. Like, it could be my. It probably is related to my hardware because I don't have like I don't want to say the best PC, but compared to like the first few weeks of testing I did to now, the performance is just off the charts now. I haven't had any issues with, like desyncing. I haven't had any issues disconnecting, and I've had really no issues with frame rate whatsoever.
Yeah,
Um,
and we are testing it. And that's part of the benefit of our team, that we've had so many experienced and knowledgeable people helping and working with us, that we have worked on a mod not just to make a mod that works, but we've been able to work on the mod and test it on a variety of different strength systems. So, it plays on our one tester's laptop. It plays on a super high powerful computer. We make sure that we're trying to accommodate as many fans as possible so that
Hmm.
all can enjoy this.
Right. And I mean, like, there's only so far you can go with that, but the mod is definitely designed to be, of a higher quality, But
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
it's a game from 2005. We are pushing the hell out of the limits, and I had always advertised it is a game for higher end computers, but we've made more and more accommodations. We've learned more and more techniques that we've been able to allow people who may not always have like a top tier computer. Someone who just has like an average laptop can now play our game and experience it and enjoy it. And it's going to be great to share the experience with everyone when we finally post it on Steam. It'll be
right, right.
that's where we're going to be posting it.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to mention that in well, we don't have a public Steam link yet, just the mod. But when that is posted, I'll be sure to make sure that's referenced in any of the videos because I do after the public version releases, I do plan on doing a little bit of content creation for the mod. So I'll be sure to make sure it's linked and everybody knows where to get it because we don't want nobody missing out on this. It's going to be a great experience once it finally does drop, and I'm happy to say that all of you are going to really enjoy it once it does release.
So, question for you:
Sure.
Do you remember when you first joined us and became a fan? What was
Circa 2013 was when I first found the mod, and I think I joined the Discord in around 2015, if not early 2016, something like that.
what was it that drew you to us?
Because,
What made you excited by what we were doing and making?
well, for one, in eighth grade, I used to sit for 3 hours a day because I had nothing else to do with the school that was going to get torn down in about a month. So, they didn't really care what we did. I used to sit in our computer lounge and read Expanding Universe lore for 3 hours a day because I had literally nothing else to do and I loved it. So that the moment I saw, like, this mod on the ModDB page and actually saw like the quality of the models you guys were making, I was just like, this is not going to be some like repeat of like a Clone Wars mod. Like we've got like 1,000 of those out there. Like there's something serious here, like being worked on, and these guys are dedicated because I had never seen texture work up to that point like that. Model work. Like
We were, if not the first mod, or definitely one of the first to disprove the theory that the game could not that the game could actually run high poly models. We that was one of our early tests back then.
mm-hmm,
That it used to no one knew what was causing lag originally with the game or causing problems, and for years people had thought that it was you can't have high poly models and you can't have models with so many turrets on them and all this. And we were one of the our with work over the years of working with some great people like
mm-hmm,
that one bullet from Awakening of the Rebellion,
yep,
and Corey and his head coder Pox.
yep,
Great feedback from them of learning things and getting in touch with them, and sharing ideas and helping to troubleshoot all this. But yeah, we helped. We took some crazy challenges and some crazy ideas, and you know, it's funny for not being a coder, which I always admit to everyone. I don't know a damn thing about coding. I'm just an artist with crazy ideas. You know, nearly, I want to say 90% of the ideas that I have proposed for this game,
mm-hmm.
we have been able to accomplish and get in game to work. So it's kind of cool. I'm kind of amazed that the people who we have working with us were able to be smart and crafty enough to get some of these strange things that shouldn't really be thought of being possible in this old of a game to actually happen and work.
Yeah, from some of the crazy ideas that I've seen on the ModDB and from what you guys have told me, like in obvious secrecy, it's just I'm like, it's hard to believe that especially from testing, it's hard to believe that we're still playing a game that was made almost well over a decade, 13 years ago now. It'd be the anniversary of it soon, actually, if that didn't pass already. But yeah, it's just insane to see what you guys would actually able to push with this super limited engine. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we made the an actual working diplomacy system for the game. We made we were the first to develop planet death. We made it so that uh, during galactic conquest, we found ways to blow up planets 7 different ways. You know, because anyone can do just one. We
yeah,
have
anybody can build a Death Star or a Star Killer base. Yeah.
we did it 7 different ways, but a lot of things like that we've discovered and learned over the years. Just to remind everyone, our first release is only going to be skirmish because we are showcasing the stable multiplayer skirmish.
Mhm.
So Galactic Conquest is something that will come down the road. This is only our first release after how many years of work. So we're not going away after this. This is just finally giving our fans something after all this time of supporting us.
Right, it's like giving your kid like a toy for getting straight A's in high school. Everybody in the fan base is kind of behave pretty well, and it deserves something for it. So it's always nice to hear you guys aren't being really edgy or elitist about it. It's like you guys care about the fan base, and we've all been around for a while, and then you want us to all see the product, and so that's always a good thing to know, especially like I said, especially coming from the fact that a lot of fans don't know you personally, or don't really get an insight on a lot of the secret things we have worked on. So it's always really nice to know that the fans are really just kind of get rewarded for being fans. You have a lot of game developers nowadays that kind of don't care, and they just don't care. They just want what the company wants. We're here to
Yeah,
push for the fans.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's like one of the biggest things I think people don't realize about us or about me. I mean, a lot of people have opinions about me that they hear from other people, but they don't really know how much I actually care and want to interact with the fans because I'm too busy to actually talk to them at times. But
Right.
I read every single comment that's posted on our mod database. I try, every morning before I go to work, if I have to upload a picture, I'm always trying to, chug down my 3 espressos and write as much information as I can to get our fan base excited, have them provide them something that they can think about and follow along, to teach them what we're trying to do as much as I can without revealing stuff that I shouldn't reveal yet because it's still in testing and we don't want to disappoint people.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm if any fan tries to private message me or talk to me or send me a message, I make sure I really try to answer them and try to help them out any way I can. Um,
Disclaimer, everybody, that doesn't mean send burnt 30 messages after you see this video. For the love of God, don't do that.
I am a busy guy, so you know you can talk, our whole team is helpful. They're busy, but I'll let them talk once in a while.
Right,
You
right.
know, but we've had we've had some fans comment on our site once in a while, and you know we're not we don't we're not we don't try to be short, we don't try to be rude or testy with people.
Hmm.
We're just, most of the time we're always exhausted. I mean, it's 12:30 at night and I have work. I have to get up for work in 4 hours, and I'm still working on stuff. Our team is full scale production round the clock.
Yeah.
There's no one fooling around or just playing games or doing non-productive work.
Hmm.
We worked Friday night. I woke up at 5 a.m. Saturday morning, and I worked with people all day Saturday. I worked more on it Saturday night. I worked all day Sunday, and still had to take breaks from modding to go do real life work. Go out with my wife places, do errands, things around the house. But every free second I get back here in modding. And whenever I come on, there's always someone else here working at the same time, or
Mm-hmm.
working and preparing stuff. That when people finally see all the work that we have put into this, it's not just a mod where we are cramming in hundreds of models. It's not just like it's make as many as we can. We're definitely not trying to make things as fast as we can. We have set standards for quality.
Yep.
We're trying to make a complete collection of some of the highest poly models um, you know this game has seen. We balance everything. We have Will Caputo on our team. He is a balancing strategist mastermind. He has come up with so much help working with Nolan and Kemasuk and a bunch you two, a bunch of others, all to help balance all our weapons and make when you experience a battle, it's not just a crazy laser light show of flurry and everything blows up. The player will see
Yep.
that there are strengths and weaknesses. There's a lot of strategy that's put into the game. It's not just pretty models and pretty textures and flashy particles, and it's a full gambit. It's a full complete thing. The aesthetics are probably almost secondary to some of the strategy and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the balancing. um you know Cad and War is cool. They're always loving when they see a star destroyer enter the battlefield. Because it's not just a big ship. When a star destroyer enters our battle in a map, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has a feeling and presence of power. And the enemy player will definitely know it. It's not a unit that is
Yeah.
just spawned, or not, or spammed. It is brought in, and you definitely have to change your whole tactics and figure out like what the hell you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
that's just the work of our team for all the balancing and all of the the detail we put into gameplay, and not
Yep.
just textures and artwork and stuff. I'm grateful from all you guys working on this thing. You all have really made this a, a great experience. Great, not just a fun mod to play, but it's been a great experience working with all of you. You come on, you hang out in our chat rooms, you talk, you keep us occupied and busy, just having conversations with us.
Mm.
um, it's a lot of fun working on this with all the people who have been contributing and helping.
Well, thank
uh,
you. I do appreciate that.
yeah, I mean, anytime you guys pop in, it's just hearing people, even when we have our silly side conversations. It's always fun to see what people are talking about. This is in our not just in our not just in our Discord, but when we have like a developer chat on the side as well.
Mm-hmm.
And our team members are always active and talking. The conversations that we are having on Discord, especially the technical conversations about space warfare and land warfare and weapon
Oh yeah.
types.
Oh yeah. Those are
My
always really
God.
entertaining.
Oh, it gets me through the day at work. I read up on these things and I'm like, oh, I never knew that, and
Yeah.
this has been a very, I have entertaining lunch breaks at work. And it gives us ideas, because then we read these things and we go home and we go, hey, did you see what so and so said on Discord today? We should try that. We should definitely try this idea that someone recommended.
It's like
Because
it's like taking the fan information and like taking it as like a feedback and advice. Even if it's just a fun conversation. Like you said, there's always something new you can learn, and you just really pull from that and bring it to the mod where you can, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, and we hope that fans see that, like, a lot of the comments that they might have talked about or might have suggested over the years, we've incorporated. We're as a development group, our team is always listening to what people are asking for. We may not always have time to reply. I mean, hell, it's scary how often I'm reading conversations and chats in situations where I should really be paying attention to something else that's a lot more important.
Yeah.
But but we're always trying to keep up to date. The fans mean the world to us, and this is for them. So we're trying to listen to all their feedback and everything that they've ever asked for, and we're trying our best to give them a complete picture of something fun to play with. You know, we think it's we're kind of excited. We
Well,
think it's kind of neat.
I can definitely say, as both a fan and as a tester, that we are without a doubt, ecstatic. We can't wait to see, what the public thinks of this. From the testing group, we 100% can't wait for everybody else to get a chance to actually play with this and kill each other for hours on end, like we have. So,
Yeah, and like we're hoping after the first release we want to see what the public feedback is. We want to hear people's opinions. Hear what they think of our balancing. If hopefully everyone likes it. That would be nice to hear that people enjoy what we've been working on. And we want to make sure people think it plays right and everything. And if we get positive feedback, and the fans are receptive to our work, we plan on spending the rest of the year filling out and completing various sub factions to add to the multiplayer roster. um, you know the first release again is going to be skirmish only,
mhm.
skirmish and skirmish multiplayer, only space battles. And we're featuring for we developed a unique system for the game only allows you to have three factions for skirmish and multiplayer.
Mhm.
But our coders, CAD and War is cool. They are really really bright, innovative people. I'm so happy to work with them every day. They came up with a sub faction selection system, so the player can choose three main factions, which will be the Galactic Alliance, the Hutt Empire, and the Vong. But then underneath each of those three main factions, the player will have the opportunity to choose up to up to six different sub factions.
Mhm.
So you can select to be the Galactic Alliance, but when you start playing the game, you're the Galactic Alliance, but then you have to pick which sub faction you want to be, and you could be, say, the Imperial Remnant, the rebels from the Civil War era, or the Galactic Empire from the Civil War era. Future installments and releases will include the Mon Calamari fleet, the Hapan fleet, uh, the New Republic Fifth Fleet, and that'll be the Galactic Alliance six sub faction roster. When you play as the Vong, you'll have up to six different sub factions to choose from there. Whether you can be the Vong, the Peace Brigade, the Mandalorians, because they were on the side of the Vong for a while. When you play as the Hutts, you'll be able to be the Hutts. You can also be the Peace Brigade. You can also be um, um, the corporate sector authority. You can be the Corelli. You can be the Corellian faction and use all Corellian ships. These are all going to be additions that we plan on continuing with.
Yeah.
Basically, the more people support the mod, the more people are active on our Discord and talking to us and encouraging our work, the more we're going to keep building this out. That's the relationship we want to form with the community. If you like what we make and you tell us, hey, keep it up, we like what you're doing, we will gladly keep working to keep providing more and more content. But this initial framework, could in theory allow us to have up to uh what 18, like was it 6 times 3, it's what, 18 factions.
Yep. 18.
Yeah, 18 factions to choose from. So 18 unique ship rosters for skirmish. Really just an awesome thing that we made, that our guys made and developed. So we have all the models made.
Right.
It's just spending the time to get them all textured and finished up in the game, and we want to see what the feedback is, and maybe every month or every 2 months, we release a new sub faction or something. you know keep building out the game and keeping it fresh and alive.
Okay. Well, um, I'm going to throw my final comments on that thought in just a second. I do want to mention we are hitting a 50-minute mark actually, so we're probably going to start wrapping things up just a tad bit so the video doesn't go on for too long. But it is nice to know that it's not just gonna be a one-stop shop. A little bit of a release, then maybe like 7, 8 months, then you get another release. It's like I like the idea of fresh content every so often. Just trying to keep things a little bit more, you know, make it not boring. Kind of, you want to keep things fresh. You want to add something new, and it's kind of nice to know that you're really approaching that direction with that. Now, of course, I'm not going to say like that's what you guys should do and that's what we expect, but it is nice to know that the idea is kind of like there already. And yeah, I feel like people are going to really look forward to that, honestly.
We hope. I mean, it's very exciting for us, as for a development team like this, that we all were nobodies. We all started modding, and we were people who just had a passion for Star Wars and a passion for you know the Yuuzhan Vong and the new Jedi Order, and we encouraged each other and helped each other and taught each other, positive support, always trying to find help and assistance for anyone on this team,
Hmm.
making great friends, with people, all over the community. Like, there's so many names. We're friends with just about all the teams. We tried to help everyone over the years, and in turn, they've all helped us one way or another. Um, it's great. It's been a fun experience, and everyone, we wanted to always hold on and try to give the most polished product we possibly could, and our fans have supported us for a very, very long time. So we're very happy and excited to finally say, hey, thank you for following us and listening to us all these years, and we hope you like what we made. We're excited to share.
Well, I can't wait for the release, and I swear to God, all of you are gonna look for it. You're really gonna love it once it finally does release. So we will. I just want to say thank you as a member of the community for, obviously all of your hard work and your years of dedication, and I just can't wait for everybody else to get a taste of what I've been able to test for the last couple of months. So hey, I can't wait. We can't wait. I can't wait. All of us can't wait.
So as they always tease, soon, very
Soon,
soon.
very soon. Note to self: make the ending of this video just say "very soon." But before we call it quits with the video, I do want to thank you for taking the time out of your night to actually come here and sit here and talk with me for almost an hour. We had the idea of 30 minutes, but it's been almost an hour, and I'm very pleased with the fact that it's been almost an hour because I've learned a lot as you know both a community member and as a person who's come to know you as a friend. It's just nice to know like all this extra stuff. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on. It's I appreciate the opportunity to chat about the team, your help and contributions, what we're doing, and share with the public some inside, sneak preview kind of knowledge of what's coming up. And I think this is a cool idea for your show. I wish you a lot of luck and success. I think this is kind of neat, being able to help the public see, what the people behind the mods and what's happening. I think it's a great idea you thought of doing this. So thanks for letting me chat with you tonight.
No problem. And before you go, one final for one, thank you for the compliments. Also, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I hope to kind of expand this into get some other modders on here as well, kind of get some more information because I feel like as a community, we see a lot of text, database posts, Discord posts, etc. But it's kind of nice to hear this come from like a voice. And yeah, I hope to keep really expanding this idea. I really love this, and I love the fact that you were my first person to be on the show. I feel like you really would have enjoyed this, and it's just a nice way to get everything kind of out there. So, like I said, thank you for coming on to this. And before we end this, just a couple of silly, fun questions.
Sure, sure.
So, do you have any pets?
Yes, I have a beagle, and the team has been laughing at me and my dog every single day because it's spring, and in my office behind me where I work, there's a window with a tree, and as I work all weekend with everybody, the dog lays on the sofa and squirrels run up and down the tree to get on my roof, and the dog will jump up from like a dead nap and start barking and howling and scratching at the window and going all freaking crazy. And like she's so loud that I have to constantly like tell like the guy is like, stop, I'll be back. I can't hear you anymore. The freaking dog is going nuts. And like it's funny because like I will take her outside, chase after a freaking squirrel, come back inside, give her a treat. She'll lay back down, go to sleep, and not more than like 10 minutes later, the same thing happens. And it must have happened like 50 times today. And like, yes, I have an adorable little beagle that I love.
All right. Well,
That's my pet.
everybody's Strobe is a beagle. So if you ever want to make him have a good day, send him pictures of beagles. I'm sure he'll love it.
I love beagles. Awesome dog.
And if I last couple of things, what would you say is your favorite Star Wars book? Like out of all the like 200 novels of the expanded universe, what would you say your favorite book was? And after that, what would you say your favorite ship is in the entire Star Wars universe?
Oh God, book. Uh don't. I'm stumped on that one. There's too many. The I think out of all of them, the one that came at the book that was after Empire, one that was after Empire Strikes Back,
Mm-hmm.
with I can't. I'm too tired to think of the name. The green alien dude.
Uh, Emperor Prince Caesar.
Yeah, Zizor,
Caesar? Yeah,
Zizor,
Caesar.
that guy.
Yeah.
It was Shadows of the Empire.
Yep. Shadows of the
That,
Empire. Yep.
that was a great freaking book. I was just like an amazing book to read. Really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved all the Vong books. I mean, Vector Prime was still just a great book to read with killing off a major character.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading that and being like, oh, things are getting real. They're taking this a different direction. This is great.
Right. Right.
Um, I can't remember because I've been buried in spreadsheets and notes. I can't remember which books, which battles happened in throughout the Vong stories, but you know, the battles that take place in the Vong storyline are so epic. There's so many great giant fleet battles, and the whole storyline. That's why I chose to make a mod after it. I think the whole storyline is probably better than everything else I read with Star Wars.
All right.
But favorite ship, um, I got real soft spots for the K-wing and the B-wing fighters. Uh, you know,
What? Not a you don't have a soft spot for like we've got big executor classes, we've got eclipse classes, we've got sovereigns, we got
no, small ships is where it's at. You know, big ships are giant targets. Small ships, frigates and your corvettes. That's those are the main the more interesting ones to me. Um, God, favorite. If I had to pick a capital ship, Um, I like what the heck's the name of it? Uh, I'm like stumped. You should have prepared me with questions.
Well,
Uh,
maybe we can get you to answer this question maybe later on in like a Discord conversation or something.
yeah, I'm actually trying to look on our mod to see what we've made. um, yeah, definitely not the big ships. I mean, everyone likes huge ships. You know, they're neat, but I think they're kind of overrated. My favorite Vong ship is the Avik Lililu. You know, we call it the pain cake. I just love that ship. I've always loved the comic from the Battle of Fondor when Centerpoint fired and wiped
Hmm.
out like both the fleets. You know, amazing storyline.
Oh yeah.
You know, really love that. Um, New Republic Empire ship. Holy crap. Um, Trying to go through all our mod pictures.
If it's a New Republic ship, want me to throw a couple ideas out there?
I think for the New Republic, I really love the model that I made for the Sachian.
Yeah,
Uh, I think as I you know we took the original artist's work who I can't remember. I think Warb Null might have tried to recreate a concept artist's work that was for like a Nebulon C or something.
yeah.
And it, I looked at Warb Null's model, and I spun it around and looked at the back of it, and it looked like the horrible illustration that was being shown on Mod Day on Wikipedia. On Wikipedia, and I was like, wow, if you look at this ship from the back, it sort of looks like this horrible drawing. And it gave me inspiration to make a new model kind of with it and stuff. And I kind of took that one model and crafted it into being the Sachian, and I thought that was yeah, I personally really like that ship. Um, from the Rebels, I always like the Rebels over the Empire.
Same, same.
Triangles are so overrated.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
the fish rule the galaxy. People must learn this.
Oh yeah, the Rebels always had a unique design to their fleet, and that's kind of what really drew me in. It made it look more ragtag versus just you know everything looking kind of the same.
Um, I think it's a I like the MC40.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it's a sexy ship.
Do
I mean,
I dare
it,
make
it
the most infamous mod DB joke? Dad aft.
that aft. We made some great models for the Corellian ships. We made great models for the Hapan ships. We tried to make every ship we could think of. The Mon Calamari have a real soft spot for me. I love the fish people, and if I had to pick a capital ship, it's the MC80B. The Mon Ramonda style.
Mm.
It's a really cool ship, but it wasn't used as much. We made a model of the MC40, and we even have an old video of it. And it's funny, because I still go back and I still want to show people this video that was made. Oh, let me find. I can find the date.
It was about
Made
2015, Rocco. I know which video you're talking about.
2016.
Oh, okay. I know.
And yeah, I'll post it to you. I mean, it's an old video. Stuff looks way better, but I just like the shape of this ship. Like if I had to get a ship, I think that would be mine. Just something small, some fast, heavily armed. It's just a cool, slim profile. Yeah, I think it's the MC40.
I'm gonna try to pull it up in the stream right here. Oops, or not stream. I'm sorry, recording really quick.
I always get sucked into watching this video, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish I could play with that. It's another joke. For working on this mod for so many years, I have only played our work twice.
That's insane.
Like what is it's seriously? It's been like what 10 years. I've only played the mod 2 times. It drives CAD and War is Cool absolutely bonkers. They get so angry, and I tell them no because I trust them. I trust them 100%, and they are professionals. They know what they're doing, and I'm busy. I don't have time to play. I got to work. So I give them the idea, and they bring it to life, and they begged me to finally play it. I did, and I played it once years ago for just a quick battle. It was like a test map. It was
Hmm.
single player, and played that. And I didn't have fun. I just wrote like a long list of things I want to improve. And then I think I waited like almost 2 years before I played it again. And I finally played a multiplayer match. It was probably like 4 or 5 months ago with War is Cool and CAD, and we still joke about it. War is Cool kicked our ass. He's a freaking menace. Because he's constantly play testing and tweaking and fixing. He's gotten so good at playing the mod and using strategy. But
Mm.
it was a lot of fun. I really really enjoyed it. So I always look at our work and go, man, I can't wait to play. I wish I could play with that. I can't wait. I can't wait till I can, have some fun with this. And they all remind me, like, Strobe, it's your mod. I'm like,
After the first release, man, you get a vacation just for about a day or two.
yeah, I'll take a day off. So 2 days is too much. Got shit to do, man.
I
Gotta keep
understand.
pumping it out. Yo, thanks
Well,
for having me on tonight. This was a lot of fun.
no problem, dude. Really quick, I'm just gonna do some outro related things. Like I said, thank you for coming on to this, dude. I really appreciate it, man. It's been a big help for everybody, the community, and like I said, we look forward to seeing what you release.
Soon.
In that case, to all the people that are watching this video, this has been Jay, this has been Strobe, and thank you all so much for watching. I say this in every single video. I don't know if you watch one of my videos. May the force be with you all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.